Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time since I've done a video, but today I'm here with my mom and we're going to be doing a question and answers video with questions y'all asked me on my Instagram. The first question is kind of broad. What matters most?
So I think what matters most, it changes from what we think it is over different phases of our life. I feel like we all have things that matter to us. Sometimes they're the wrong things, and that can cause us a lot of problems. I'm living my life the way I need to live it to get to heaven. And what matters most to me is that along the way, I'm helping other people find that too. Because ultimately, in the end, I want to get to heaven and I want to help a lot of people find their way there also. And so anything that kind of takes me from that shouldn't matter most. But things like the way I look, the things
as y'all
that
saw in the beginning of this video.
Yeah. Things that I have, people, desires, all of those things can get in the way and become what matters most.
So bouncing off what she said, there are a lot of things on your path of life that will pull you off of it. And that's Satan trying to tell you that other things matter more than your relationship with God. Ultimately, staying on that path to get to heaven and to have a strong relationship with God is what matters most and should be what matters most. But that's not to say that there aren't things that could pull you from that, like being in a relationship. Sometimes you could put your boyfriend or girlfriend as priority over your relationship, and that's very easy to do. Friendships, your family, school, just because they feel like being successful in that sense is what matters most to them, which is very important in life, to use the gifts God has given you to move forward and be successful in life. However, you have to put Him first in order for that to be successful in the ways that He wants it to. The next question is, I was really good about my boyfriend and I praying together and doing devotionals, and now we are doing long distance and don't do that anymore. How do I put God first in our relationship again?
First of all, I think it's awesome that any young couple wants God to even be in their relationship. So that's a great testimony to your faith, that you want God to be a part of your relationship. And that's so important. And long distance relationships can be very difficult. I've done them myself and I know that they're hard, but that doesn't mean that if you're meant to be together that it won't work out. So I think the most important thing that you can do while you're away from each other is continue to keep your relationship with God strong first, because you always want to kind of know where God is calling you and where He's leading you next. That's going to bring real joy. And the other thing is, I would always pray for the person that you're dating and for the person that God has set for you for your future.
Aiming more towards how to continue doing that in a long distance relationship by doing things like sending even like just a short little scripture to each other each day, or setting aside a time each day where you both pray. That way that you both know that you're praying for the relationship, because that's very important. Because like I said earlier, all things should lead back to your relationship with God. If you want them to be truly fulfilled and you want to be truly happy in that relationship, then God should be the foundation in some sense. Okay, the next question that we have is, what is both of your favorite Bible scriptures?
So mine is from Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 through 7. I trust in the Lord with all my heart. I lean not on my own understanding. In all thy ways I acknowledge Him, and He directs my path. And I love this scripture because I really don't know what's best for me, even though sometimes I think I do. But God knows. In all situations, He is waiting to help lead us, but we don't ask enough. We try to just solve every problem on our own, and we try to make things happen the way we want them to happen, and then we get in this terrible situation and we're like, God, help me. But I think if we would go to Him first, we would prevent some of these disasters. So lean more on God and seek Him and tell Him everything that's going on in your life. And tell Him every worry that you have, because He cares about every aspect of your life, not just when you're in church, but He cares about all the things that you care about. So when you seek Him for wisdom, He will give you the answers that you need.
My favorite scripture is from Songs of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 7. It says, "You are altogether beautiful, my love. There is no flaw in you." And I think that's a great scripture for girls, teenage girls, girls in middle school, college, especially to read, because I think in this generation, we all find flaws in ourselves before we find anything positive. And it says that there is no flaw in us. We are created in the image and likeness of God, and we have to see that in ourselves and see that we are beautiful and we are worthy to be loved. So I think that that's a very important scripture a lot of people overlook. The next question is, how can you learn to have more patience with everyone that you encounter?
I think, like, if this is the last question, it's the hardest, because it's so easy to be a great Christian until, like, you meet people that drive you crazy. I have people that do challenge me and make me lose my patience. And honestly, what I do is I do pray for them. And I realize that some people may not know Jesus, and the closest they're going to see Jesus is how I live. So if I lose it with the people, they might be the ones that needed Jesus the most that day. So I really try to always remind myself. I will tell you one thing, you are not going to have patience with people. You are not going to be able to love people if you are not filled with Jesus yourself. So go to Mass, receive Jesus in the Eucharist, go to confession, all of those amazing sacraments that are available to us, they are there to help us live the faith. So fill yourself up with God, and you will have more patience.
I'm going to have to speak opposite of her, because I cannot say I start to say a Hail Mary when people are bothering me. I do think that it's easier not to lose your temper with people if you see Christ in them, which is easier to do, like she said, when you're filled with Him yourself. Because ain't nobody going to talk to Jesus like, get out of my face! No, like, you're not going to be that way with Him, and so we shouldn't be like that with anyone. That we are all made in His image and likeness, and everyone should be treated like that and treated equally.
So if you have more questions or things that you'd like us to talk about,
Oh, she's promo right now.
make sure that you send it to Katie on her Instagram.
Yes.
Right?
And if you want to see Mama Nelms in any other videos, give this one a thumbs up and subscribe. We hope you enjoyed this video.
We hope it meant something to you. And honestly, Katie and I are at different phases of our life, but we're both trying to live the best that we can too. And it's a daily challenge for every person, but the reward is so worth it. So we hope that we've inspired you to try to live it a little bit more this week, and we look forward to next time. Unless you all give me a thumbs down, and then I won't be back.
All right. Peace out, people. Mwah.